Hey, what's going on, guys? So here's the deal. A couple weeks ago, I made a video on the best units to E1. The units that would give you the best bang for your buck if you put the resources into them to E1. But here's the deal. I know you guys are out there wondering which units you should be E2ing. Which units you should be spending your time gathering materials for, gathering experience tickets, gathering LMD, doing all that, just grinding levels in order to get your first E2. Maybe it's your second E2. Maybe you're wondering which unit is the best bang for your buck and which units are going to help you the most going forward. Well, no need to worry, because now we're going to be taking a look at the best 5 with an honorable mention units you should be E2ing, okay? So that you don't have to worry. So here we go. Let's just jump right into it and let's talk these units. First up, I want to talk an honorable mention, okay? So Chen. Oh, Chen. I love my Chen. So here's the deal. Chen is very good at what she does, and what she does is very particular, and it's different from everybody else. Chen is what we call a nuke, okay? So what does Chen do? Chen comes in. She has this little ability, not skill 3, skill 2. So you do get this at E1. But if we max out her skill 2, she deals 500 physical damage, 500% physical and magical damage to up to 7 targets in front of her. It's just pop! Right there. One hit, done. How long does that take to charge? Well, she comes in with 20 and it costs 20. So you can drop her, nuke her, take her out, okay? She is the literal definition of a nuke. The reason why she's an honorable mention, though, she does get the skill when she's E1. But because the scales percentage-wise, you want her attack to be as high as possible. So when you E2 her, she does get a talent called Swordplay, which increases her attack by 5%. Now, because these are all percents and not flat numbers, you want her attack to be as high as possible. So, if we have her at E1, level 80, her attack is 469. But if we E2 her, and let's say we max her out, we get her all the way up to 610, which, you know, you're getting that extra, 150 attack, and that's adding into your percentages, so she's just getting more power, and she is just a complete bomb when you drop her. So, Chen, while you're good, unfortunately, you were not good enough to make the top 5. You were just an honorable mention. And I say that with all the love in the world, because I do love my Chen. But, let's kick it off with number 5. We got Angelina. Angelina. What Angelina does, again, very different from every unit in the game. That's why I love these. Angelina is very special, because what Angelina does when you E2 her. So, if you don't know, when you E1 her, she gives all her allies attack speed boosts. Okay? When you E2 her, not only does it improve that talent, but you also get a passive heal. So while a skill is not active, which is important, all allies recover 20 HP per second. And if you fully potential her, that goes up to 25. Okay? So, why is that important? Well, her first skill is a damaging skill. So she's going to be using this all the time. So if you have her on skill 1, you're not going to be getting that passive buff. Skill 2, you will be getting that passive buff still. When you trigger this, she attacks like crazy fast, but she does a lot less damage. However, her skill 3 is crazy. So, reduce the weight of all enemies by 1 level. Not the biggest, that's really not important to her skill. But she does increase her range, and if you see here, her range is massive with this. Attack plus 150%. She attacks 5 enemies simultaneously, and she's unable to attack when the skill is not active. So, when the skill is not active, she basically just sits on the field and gives passive buffs to all your units, which is nuts, because the better your units are, the better those buffs are going to be. But then, when you need her to just, like, annihilate everything near her, she annihilates everything near her, because she's hitting 5 units, all with an additional 150 attack. It's all arts damage. It's nuts, okay? She does insane damage. So at E2 level 90, 542, you add another 150% onto that, you're getting up to, what, 1200 magic damage? It's nuts. She is a very good unit. At E2, she does what no other unit can do. She's a very versatile unit. She also slows, so if you need her to use her skill 1, you can do that. I've done it before. She works just fine. Art is great, and I gotta say, the art, if you don't want spoilers, there's gonna be a spoiler here really quick, but this skin is my most wanted skin in the game. Okay, this is the coolest looking skin I have ever seen. I want it so bad. Okay, spoiler gone. But that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I want it real bad. Okay, next up. Number 4, we got Zarya. Zarya is my girl. Zarya is the defender of the game. Zarya is going to be one of your most universal units. You'll use her basically everywhere, and she'll always do the exact same thing you need her to, which is create a giant wall that no one will get through, while also healing your beat sticks. Okay? So the skills that you're never going to use her skill 3, okay? Her first 2 skills are all she really needs. But, again, she's a stat stick, okay? Now, when you E2 her, there's a couple different things she gets. Firstly, her first talent that she gets when she E1s will be improved. So you're going from every 20 seconds after deployment, attack plus 2% and defense plus 2%, and it stacks up to 5 layers. Now you're going up to 5% and 4%, and stacks up to 5 layers. So after, 100 seconds, she's getting plus 25% attack and plus 20% defense. So let's take a look at her skills, her stats real quick. So she's getting an extra 25% attack power, which is just shy of 100. So she's going up to 600 attack, which as a defender, that's a lot of attack. And defense, she's getting 20%, which is a 5th. So she's getting an extra 120 defense. So she's going up 720. So she's with 3,000 health. Like, come on, who's getting through that? She's just a brick wall. Like, come on, she heals so much. 180% of her attack. This stacks with her talents. She heals so much. Like, okay. Zarya, E2 her, you'll be happy with her. She's insane. She's nuts. Best defender in the game. She will be for a while. I don't even know of any defenders that are coming out in the future who are better than her. So if you E2 her, you're going to be using her basically forever. So just, again, E2 your Zarya if you have a Zarya. Number 3, we got BlazeCon. Blaze. I was not the biggest fan of Blaze before she came out. I looked her up and I was like, I don't get why she's so good. Because she's freaking nuts. So here's the deal. Someone asked me, why is Blaze so good? Because the ability you use most of the time is skill 2, right? So in case you don't know, skill 2, attack plus, when you completely max it out, attack plus 100%, defense plus 35%. She increases her range by 1 square, and it's an infinite duration. So once this thing charges up, it's not coming off until she dies or you take her off the field, right? So she gets that when she's E1. So her first talent does get improved, basically. So all your numbers stay the same, except for how long she lives after it triggers. So her health is not going to drop below 50% in 6 seconds, as opposed to 3 seconds if you don't have any protection. The other one is Harsh Training. 15 seconds after deployment, gain Resist effect, which is basically just reducing the effect of all stuns, freezes, chills, that kind of stuff. Not something you would think is completely necessary if you're E2ing this unit, because let's be frank here. Like, E2ing unit, she takes a lot of materials to E2. So why is she so good at E2? Well, Blaze is literally a stat stick. Because her skills are plus 100%. This is the stuff we've talked about on the past 2 units. Because it's plus 100%, you want as many stats as possible, so that way that percentage stacks. Okay? So if you have her at E1 80 or E21, basically the same level. Okay? Her attack power is 581. So if we're plusing 100%, we're doubling it. So we're going up to 1060. But if we go all the way up to E2 90, her attack power is going to 765, which is going to 1500. And then plus you have to add on the attack if you have her potential and her trust bonus, which I forgot in the E1, but you get my point. You're going from 1060 to 1500. That's a huge jump per attack, and she blocks and hits 3 units at the same time. It's nuts. It's so much damage. The extra square will matter more than you think on this skill. But yeah, like, Blaze is ridiculous in terms of damage. She's ridiculous in terms of a guard. In terms of a unit, absolutely ridiculous. So that's Blaze. Now, moving on, we have 2 units left. Now, if you know what units are in the game, and you know what people like to E2, and you know what units have already been on this list. You probably know which units are the next two. However, I think a lot of you will think that there is a certain order to these top two. And I have a feeling that I'm going to roll those expectations on their heads, if you will. Because I think that one of these units is overhyped, and I think one of them is better than the other. So number 2, we got Silver Ash. We got Silver Daddy. Okay. Everyone knows the meme, swing swing. Okay, because that's what Silver Ash does. He comes down, because let's be frank here, this E2 talent, while it's good, it's not why you E2 him. You E2 him for the skill 3. Okay, so his defense goes down, which doesn't matter because nothing is going to live in this area. His attack goes up by 200%. Okay, that's so much damage. Increases range, which you can see right up here, and he attacks 6 targets simultaneously. So if we look at his attack when he's maxed out, 713, so he's dealing like 2k damage to everything. Like, nothing's living. If you're in this range, nothing is living, okay? And that's why everyone wants an M3 skill 3 Silver Ash, because when you need a reset button, when you get to a hard part in a level, you put him down, wait for his ability to activate, and then you kill everything on the map and you reset. Okay? So why is he not number 1? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, let's take a look at his E2. His E2, I'll be honest, it's a little weird. I do like his skin that just came out a lot better than his E2 skin. Okay? So here's the deal. Why is he not number 1? Well, because Aofiala is number 1. She is the GOAT. Get it? She's the GOAT. Okay, I'll see myself up. Anyway, the reason why she's E2, why you should be E2ing her first. So she gets a new ability, Chaotic Flame. So she's going to be generating SP when she enters the battlefield, which is very good. She's also going to be increasing your other caster's attack, which is very good. But that's not why she's very good. It's because of this freaking ability. Volcano is nuts. Okay? The Volcano, what does it do exactly? She reduces her attack interval. I'll just say she attacks like a machine gun. Okay? She turns herself into a magical machine gun of fire. Okay? She attacks up to 6 targets randomly. Let me just say, you're never going to pass that 6 targets. You know why? Because everything's going to die before you get past 6 targets. So she's just hitting everything near her. And remember, this is magic damage. This is arts damage. Okay? So let's go up right here, 645 plus 130%. I can't do the math that fast, but that's probably like 1400 damage, and it's all arts damage. That's a ton of damage. She, just like Silver Ash, is a reset button, okay? But why is she above Silver Ash? Well, the reason why she's above the Silver Ash is because I think you get a lot more versatility out of her. Because if you just need consistent damage, honestly, I use her skill 2 more than I use her skill 3. True fact. I use her skill 2 more than I use her skill 3. Because this ability is just so consistent. But when I'm just using her for consistent damage, I think she's a lot better than Silver Ash. Silver Ash, I really only use if I need his M3, right? Otherwise, he's pretty much useless when he's on the field. Honestly, I just take him off because it's a lot quicker if you take him off the field to charge up his skill 3 than it is if you leave him on the battlefield. And he really doesn't do that much damage all on his own. Aofiala, on the other hand, all her damage is arch damage, and she does a ton of it. So when you leave her on the field, even if you are using her Volcano ability and she's just on the field, she's going to be doing a ton of damage. But then when you just need consistent damage, put her on skill 2, and she does a ton of damage, and she has a bunch of utility. So that's why I think that Aofiala is the number 1 unit to E2, if you haven't already. I think that a lot of players will tell you that if you're new, Silver Ash is the unit to E2. And they're not wrong, okay? Silver Ash is very good when he's E2, and he'll help you on a lot of levels. But Aofiala is a lot more versatile. She's going to be better in a lot of places. And I bet you a lot of people on your friends list, even if you don't have friends that play this game, you can find people. There are plenty of places to find players to add to your friend list. And I bet a lot of them, if not most of them, if they've been playing for a while, already have a Silver Ash, okay? That you can borrow with a skill 3. So why not build up a different unit that's going to be better in the long run? So build up your Aofiala, okay? So, guys, those are my 5. Well, 6 if you include Chen. I can't forget my Chen. Those are the 6 units that I think you should be E2ing immediately. If you're a new player, if you're a veteran player, you probably already have these units all E2'd. So if you're a new player, these are the 6 that you should be going in and E2ing. I do think that this order is pretty solid. I think that this is the order, if I were starting over, this is the order I would try and E2 my units in. So guys, that is today's video. I hope you guys had a good time. Let me know down in the comments section below if you agree with this list. If you don't, let me know who you thought should have been on this list, and if you think some of the order should have been changed, let me know that as well. If you liked the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way you always know when I put out a new video. Also, check out my Twitch channel. I stream there usually 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in the evening on Eastern time. We hang out there, we chat all kinds of things. We chat TV, we chat movies, we chat anime, we chat Arc Nights, we chat just random shit that's going on in your day. Just come and hang out. Come have a good time. We play Arc Nights. It's fun. So guys, that is it for me today. I hope you guys had a good time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!